Hi, my name is Matt Tennent and I am what we call an AFOL, an adult fan of LEGO. I've been interested in LEGO for my whole life, and my first LEGO set was the Fabuland gas station, which was a gift from my mother for my birthday. LEGO has been a big thing in our family, not just for my brothers but for my cousins as well. We've spent a lot of time growing up together building. As with most adult LEGO users, we tend to go through a stage in our life where we don't build with LEGO anymore, and we usually refer to this as our dark age. The set that got me out of my dark age was the Simpsons house. The level of detail in these modern kits just completely blew me away, and it was a big step up from what we had as kids. Not long after that, I found Bricklink, which is a LEGO marketplace, basically Trade Me for LEGO. This has given the community the ability to build to the extent of their imaginations. My first creation, or mock as we call it, was a British Rail Class 08 locomotive, as you may know of as Diesel from Thomas the Tank Engine. I had wanted to challenge myself to make something that looked realistic but was functional. And then I slipped into the slippery slope of LEGO trains and I joined AUCKLUG. Joining the Auckland LEGO User Group was a great way to meet people with the same interest, and it soon became apparent who the train lovers were, and we started collabing and making joint train displays with it together. MOTAT approached us with a design brief for a LEGO model to go into Te Puawānanga Science and Technology Centre that represented MOTAT and highlighted examples of the 6 simple machines. For me, 2 of the most iconic symbols of MOTAT are the pump house and the trams. The presence of the pump house and the fact it predates MOTAT gave me the idea of creating it as the centrepiece. To top it off, it also has great examples of the wheel, lever and wedge, and I thought I could integrate this into the construction. Having built trains before, I had some idea on the limitations that working with LEGO can create. After seeing how passionate the team here at MOTAT were, I had wanted to get the details as accurate as possible. We had discussed how popular Tram 47 was with the public and the fact that it was a New Zealand built tram, so I decided to replicate that. For this, I use a piece of free software called Stud.io. This is a digital building platform for LEGO, basically a LEGO CAD design software. This is a great piece of software that links directly to Bricklink, allowing you to see things like colour availability and price for each brick. First thing I started on were the bogies for the tram. From here I could determine the width and then calculate the scale that the tram would become. I then started trying to construct elements for the front of the tram to a scale of 1/32 and found windows and other parts that could work to the scale. The next step was to try and find a way to attach each section together at the correct angles to give it the impression of the real tram. I then tested the design out of real bricks. This stage we call the Rainbow Warrior. It's basically a model that is made out of the correct bricks but out of whatever colours you have in your inventory. It's a great way of testing the design before spending valuable money on bricks you may not need. I then started to replicate some of the design details for the pump house to the same scale. This hadn't been specified in the brief, but it became a bit of a personal challenge for me. I had been lucky enough to be given a copy of the plans for the building, and from there I could take each measurement and divide it by 32. If I was trying to find the width of something, I would then divide that measurement by the size of a LEGO stud, about 8 mils, and then figure out how many studs wide that measurement was. Or if I was looking for the height, I would divide that measurement by the height of a LEGO brick or plate. The arches over the doors and windows were the first thing I needed to try and get my head around. The technique used here is called brick bending, and due to the physical dimensions of LEGO, this only works to specific diameters. Having proven it was possible to get close enough to the scale, I also tried to replicate other features to these dimensions. Things that were technically hard to build, like the flywheel for example. It was important to prove that these were possible to create at this diameter before committing to the rest of the model. The next step from here was to build the foundations. Once I had the foundations, I could start placing the pre-designed details and start filling in the gaps around them. The pump house alone is just over 1 metre wide, weighs over 17 kgs and consists of just over 21,500 bricks. Having spent so much time at MOTAT as a child, this project has given me the opportunity to funnel my love of LEGO into a project that is very close to my heart.